A shooting in Summerfield leaves one dead and another fighting for his life. First on the TV20 News at 6, Marion County deputies search for a gunman on the run. Ocala police make a quick arrest in the graveyard vandalization case. We'll show you the people they say are responsible. And the Robert Nodine trial is underway. He's accused of firing shots at police in front of a school last year. We'll tell you how soon the trial is expected to wrap. The TV20 News at 6 starts now.
Now, from your local source, TV20 News at 6 in high definition.
Good evening. Paige has the night off. Authorities are searching this hour for a possible killer, a man on the run who police say could be armed and dangerous. As details develop, TV20's Natalia Martinez joins us live from our Ocala bureau. Natalia, you were there while the SWAT team swarmed a house in Summerfield.
Yes, Dave, we were actually the first TV crew on scene watching while the SWAT team pointed their guns and busted out windows, all in search of Richard Drake, who they say shot and killed one man and left another fighting for his life.
The SWAT team was ready, guns pointed towards this Summerfield house near 164th Place, a helicopter making its rounds.
They're out here in force, no helicopters zooming around, so I knew something was bad.
Police thought 43-year-old Richard Drake had barricaded himself inside his home after shooting at two men, killing one of them. But the home was empty. This man watched the whole thing from his window.
It's a quiet neighborhood. I can't believe something will happen like that.
Neighbors couldn't believe the scene unfolding. This mother ran home, making sure her child was all right.
We were told to park our car down here and walk home and run into the house and not come out.
One man, 23-year-old David Walsh, shot to death inside this house, and an unidentified 19-year-old flown to Shands, fighting to stay alive after being shot 6 times.
Just sad that, someone could take somebody else's life.
Richard Drake on the run. We found his mugshot, several arrests from driving with a suspended license to grand theft. We spoke to some neighbors who thought this may have started as a drug deal. The young man who was killed had been arrested in 2010 for cocaine trafficking, but authorities said they do not yet have a motive.
Too close to home to have something like that around,
Meanwhile, Drake had a status conference hearing set for the 14th, but may soon face even more serious charges if and when he's found.
And Dave, right now, authorities are searching for a 4-door white Chevy Impala with Florida tag number 2243JU. And authorities believe that Richard Drake is armed and very dangerous, and they're urging anyone who may see him to contact the Sheriff's Department. Reporting live from Ocala, Natalia Martinez, TV20 News.
They're facing some grave charges. 3 men have been arrested, charged with desecrating more than 50 tombstones in an Ocala cemetery. Over the weekend at Highland Memorial Park, police found tombstones knocked off their base, flowers and statues thrown everywhere. Fingerprints left behind and help from the community led to these arrests. 20-year-old Wade Wagner, 21-year-old Justin Rainey, and 21-year-old William Petty were charged with injuring or removing a tomb or monuments. That's a 3rd-degree felony. A 4th person is believed to be involved but has not yet been arrested. Now, we often ask you folks out there to send us in your weather photos, and we really like the weather-related ones as well. Bill has some interesting ones tonight. Bill?
Oh, this is the kind of visitor you don't really want to see outside your front door. Take a look. It's just a tail, but believe me, there's something attached to that tail. When we look at the front door, I think he's a little too short to actually hit the doorbell, but I'd say it's probably about an 8 to 10 foot gator just sitting outside waiting for maybe a little bit of a snack, but nothing to be had, so he heads back out. That's from Jim near Orange Lake, and kind of a dangerous way to start their day, but looks like he managed to get away without any problems there. Now, we are expecting to see things progress as far as the storms go. Today, pretty quiet. Tomorrow, I think we'll start to see a little bit of shower activity here and there, but for the most part, for the rest of this evening, looks very nice indeed. Temperatures slowly dropping through the 80s here by 8 o'clock, 81 degrees, and 76 by 10 o'clock. Not quite as cool overnight tonight, but more moisture and more chances of rain over the next several days. We'll have that for you in a few minutes.
The 2 police officers involved in the High Springs Community School shooting just over a year ago testified in court today. Robert Nodine is on trial, accused of shooting at High Springs officer Charles Harper. Right now, TV20's Jeremy Farinas is at the Alachua County Courthouse. And Jeremy, what did the witnesses say?
Well, Dave, both officers tried hard, fighting back tears when asked about what happened on May 18th, 2011. Harper and Deputy Brian Phillips with the Alachua County Sheriff's Office testified that they felt threatened by Nodine and he was a threat to others on campus. Harper says he used a tree to protect himself when Nodine pulled out a gun on him. If the tree wouldn't have been there, he says he would have been shot in the head. Phillips, on the other hand, was never shot, but he says Nodine told him, "You don't want to die today. I'm here to get my grandkids."
Those words of "I don't have a shot." I have the shot. Well, take the shot. It was those words that were pounding in Mr. Robert Allen Nodine's ears.
And he is advising Mr. Nodine, put down the gun. And the response of Mr. Nodine is now to unholster it and point it directly at Sergeant Harper.
Both state and defense attorneys say Nodine was at the High Springs Community School because DCF called about not releasing his grandchildren. He is facing a count of attempted murder in the first degree, along with 4 other counts related to possession of weapons on school property, trespassing, and assault. The trial is expected to wrap up tomorrow. Reporting live at the Alachua County Courthouse, Yaremi Farinas, TV20 News.
Well, if you carry a nightstick, walk softly. A teenager attracted attention in High Springs by carrying a police nightstick. 18-year-old Blake Overacker was spotted by officers. They say they found a pipe with marijuana residue, a gun, taser, and other stolen items in Overacker's backpack. When asked about the gun, Overacker told police that he stole it from his father, who is a sergeant with the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. He faces several charges tonight, including grand theft, possession, and armed robbery. Property taxes could be going up in Alachua County. A drop in the amount of taxable property available is one reason behind a proposed millage rate increase. TV20's Kyla Ryan reports it's designed to avoid budget cuts.
The county manager recommended in a special budget meeting an increase in the millage or the tax rate on properties because of a drop in the number of those taxable properties in the county.
Flexibility to prepare a budget that's based on revenue stabilization. In other words, sufficient millage increase so that the budget would pretty much be based on the same amount of revenue in the general fund as we expect to receive this year.
On July 1st, the property appraiser will release an update on property values in the county, and then a new millage rate would be based on these values.
We've had a reduction in property values as well as other limitations in terms of what the choices we can make. And
some of those limitations include new Medicaid regulations. The county manager also says increasing the tax would prevent programs from being cut. So what would that increase look like? The current 2012 budget is $127 million. There's a $3.4 million revenue reduction because of the drop in taxable properties. That leaves the current budget at $123 million. By increasing the millage, the budget would increase $1.2 million. This, coupled with reducing expenses, could create a budget for 2013 similar to this year's budget. It's an increase Commissioner Susan Baird says some may question.
A lot of people wonder, how can my taxes be going up when my value is going down?
Kyla Ryan, TV20 News.
The current millage rate is at 8.5% in Alachua County. The proposed increase would make it 8.7%. Well, in a matter of days, tuition rates could rise once again for students at UF. UF's proposal is now in the hands of the state's Board of Governors, meeting this week at UCF. But there's a powerful opponent to tuition increases. We'll explain next on the TV20 News at 6.